Alright mates, recently compact Android tablets have become a trend as they represent a sweet spot between phones which are oftenly quite small for comfortable gaming and of course other tasks, and the usual sized tablets of 11, 12, sometimes 13 inches, which are clearly too bulky to comfortably hold for extended time. So Lenovo has been doing it for years with its compact Legion Tab series or Legion Y700 series of the golden probably standard 8.8 inches. Recently ZTE with their sub-brand REDMAGIC have released their first compact tablet, which I absolutely adore. I own one. Oppo is rumored to quite soon release their compact tablet again of 8.8 inches, and of course those are all Chinese brands, and Xiaomi couldn't pass on this trend, and they have released their own of the compact tablets family, and I've got myself one Xiaomi Pad Mini. So let's unpack it and see whether it can stand up to the competition. Let's start with a quick glance at what's in the box. Quite heavy. Oh, I already love the unpacking because I like this wrapping material. It's not a plastic, it's like a cloth almost. We see the golden standard size, 8.8 inches. Oh, supports Xiaomi focus pen, so it supports stylus. 3K resolution, 165 Hz display, great thing to have. The latest so far, MediaTek Dimensity 9400 Plus, so some enhanced version of already strongest MediaTek chip. Quite a large 7500 mAh battery. All right, so quite comprehensive information. Yeah, I really love this wrapping material. Do we have the charging brick? What's your opinion? Oh, we do. How lovely. Oh gosh, that's not often to happen these days, to have a charging brick. Oh, it's huge, 67 watts, quite a powerful thing. Some paperwork, a cable, doesn't deserve any attention. No case. All right, that's all right. So that was an unpacking. Yeah, and I love it. Right, wraps off, and the third thing I need to do is to compare this Xiaomi Mini tablet with my beloved REDMAGIC Astra tablet, as their sort of rivals. Both are compact, and whoa, the first thing that simply jumps to me is that they're almost identical. They're less than 5 millimeters, like 2 or 3 millimeters difference only in size, and that's a miracle, that's a wonder. Why? Because this REDMAGIC is 9.06, so almost 9.1 inches, and the Xiaomi is 8.8 inches. They're almost the same in both longer and shorter sides. So that's a great shout out to REDMAGIC for keeping their bezels. That's the bezels, they're so tiny, probably much smaller, much narrower than on the Xiaomi, to keep their 9 inches, identical in size to 8.8 inches. Gosh, that's great. What else can we say in the comparison is that on the speakers, I see that on Xiaomi the speakers, there are also two speakers, and they're positioned probably better than on the REDMAGIC because, oh, it's powered on, I didn't mean it. You don't cover the speakers when you game, you don't cover the speakers with your palms, with your fingers. They're positioned closer to the upper half. That's better than on REDMAGIC. However, we flip them to the back and we see that REDMAGIC clearly says I'm a gaming tablet, but Xiaomi says nothing. That's, yeah, probably also some sort of metal, and I like it very much. At least it's brushed out, so it's absolutely brushed, no fingerprints. Yeah, no. The camera is tiny and it's raised over the surface, over the body, very little, like for 2 millimeters or so. The buttons, the power button, and that's probably the volume controls, both of them. Oh, and there is some additional control area, maybe that launches some AI assistant, or maybe it's a fingerprint. And here the fingerprint is embedded into a power button, so I still don't know what this button does. This not button, it's an area, sensible area does. The speakers, yeah, better. The USB port, yeah, you will cover it if you charge or bypass charge. That thing is thought through on the Redmi, so this USB port is better for bypass charging. You see, when you hold your tablet and you charge it at the same time, it doesn't stand in the way of your fingers, so that's better. But gosh, oh, it's better. It has the second USB port, so the USB ports are better than even on the gaming tablet. Yeah, and the bezels. Oh yeah, the bezels are thick, really huge. They're very thick, especially compared to the REDMAGIC. Yeah, much. The bezels are much thicker, but these upper, in portrait orientation, these upper bezels houses camera cutout. Again, tiny, and that's this camera position is much more handy for video sessions because it's easier to hold. Maybe it's better to hold it in landscape mode when you talk to someone over the video. So overall, I love everything apart from really thick bezels. So yeah, the design deserves at least 4 out of 5, or maybe even 5, with this additional area of control for something. So yeah, the design is absolutely marvelous. Okay, since it's already powered on, let's walk through the initial setup. However, I'm not expecting anything interesting, although I'm very much intrigued of what this control area, what this sensor does. Oh, by the way, I already love the sound and haptics. I'm not sure that you clearly hear it, but and the power on and power off the screen sounds just great. Very strong sound and very strong haptic feedback. So the languages, of course, all the European languages are here, including my own Ukrainian. We set it to English. Let's go further on. No, but who cares what region I set, terms and conditions, and all that bollocks. Skip so far. Let's skip all the settings, screen lock, face unlock, so there is no fingerprint. I may be disappointed. Only the screen lock, face unlock, skip, Google services. No. I don't want any additional things to be on. No. Right. That stays on. Okay. Text. So, yeah, I'm a bit disappointed, as firstly there is no fingerprint and there was no suggestions to set up this control area. Maybe it's not even a sensor, maybe, I don't know, it's like infrared port or something, but there were no prompts to set this button up.
A few moments later.
Right, I've gone through the initial setup procedure once again, now with internet on and logged into my Google account, but there was nothing new, nothing happened, nothing popped up during the setup offering to set up any AI or other functions for that matter, apart from Gemini was said to be my default AI assistant, which I'm alright with, but I hoped for, but I didn't receive that. What I hoped for is a prompt to set up this area, which I hoped to be a fingerprint reader, but it's not. Neither does it perform any other function, like any sensitive trigger for any gaming or other function, but it apparently doesn't do anything unless you prove me wrong. So please tell me in the comments, what does it do? What is it for? If it's for nothing, it's just a ridiculously silly, it's a silly, useless element of the design, which it probably is. So ridiculous thing to have. And my first impression of the system, it's clean, it's extremely clean, especially for a Xiaomi or Redmi or Poco device, which were previously notoriously known for loads of rubbish apps like Facebook and everything else. Now we've only got like 5 rubbish apps like LinkedIn, Booking.com and a couple of others, but it's quite clean and surprisingly pleasing, clean system. The settings doesn't excite me either, so I don't see any specifically exciting or interesting features. Even the tablet specific features include floating windows, which is absolutely usual thing to have. Workstation, firstly I thought it's for connection of the tablet to a PC, but it's not. It's something to do with a dock where you like add and lock your favorite apps. So nothing interesting again. Yeah, of course, we've got this Xiaomi AI section consisting of Gemini, which is not the Xiaomi's product, obviously, and oh, quite a bunch, like 7 different AI features. Most of them, again, are just copy of what simply the Google Translate does. So translate, interpreter, subtitles, speech recognition are all functions of simply the Google Translate. So again, quite a gimmicky thing. This section, what's not gimmicky is, and that's notification popped up immediately once I logged into the system, availability of an update, and that is surprisingly a huge update. HyperOS still 2, but a huge update of almost 6 gigabytes. But I already learned on the internet that HyperOS 3 is already available for this tablet, so the update policy for this tablet promises around 2 or 3 major Android updates, which immediately puts this tablet much ahead of any competition like of this REDMAGIC, which is a great tablet, but with absolutely unknown updates policy. So I don't even know whether it receives Android 16. So yeah, as ridiculously as that, but Xiaomi will receive, and that's great advantage of this tablet over any competition in the compact tablets family. Great to have it. I'll download it and review it later in my full review. So everything else is quite conventional, pretty much normal, and nothing else to add about the system apart from no gaming feature in the system, which surprised me. So apparently this tablet is positioned as a versatile everyday tasks tablet, not a gaming specific thing. So no triggers, no even fingerprint reader, no separate gaming space, although the gaming assistant is available here. I only, given that there are no games, by default I set the Files app to have this game turbo assistant, and the only thing which I looked for, and it's here, the real-time FPS meter, but it's like half function, because once I start to touch the screen, meaning I start playing the game, it slides away, so it's a half real-time FPS, but it's nice to have it here. So I assume again it's a tablet for everyday usage, not specifically for gaming, and that's pretty much it for first impressions. Although the one thing I can compare right away, it's the display. Here it's LCD, and on the REDMAGIC it's the OLED. So let's compare it head to head. With the manual brightness turned on to the maximum, and we clearly see the huge, it's just like an ages difference between the brightness and crispiness between these two. So it's clearly a more budget screen, much more budget screen, but we'll see later on how it behaves given the on paper same refresh rate up to 165 Hz, but the display is clearly better here. So hardware wise the REDMAGIC is better, but software wise we'll see how it behaves, what the updates bring to this tablet. But overall it's just a nice average mid-range tablet, not clearly not a flagship tablet. And so far that's it for my first impressions. Please drop your comments, your questions to this tablet, and comparing it to competition which I've got. So far was nice seeing you all. Cheers!